Hey, what's up you guys? It's Dorothy and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, comment down below what you want to see in the future, click that subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on my post notifications. That way you lovely people get notified every single time I upload a video. In today's shout out, we're going to be shouting out another one of my coworkers whose name is Andrew. He's actually my boss. Doesn't really act like it, but he's my boss. And he decided that he wanted to help me out and support me too, so thank you, Andrew. That's a real one. I don't know why I did that. Anyways, in today's video we're going to go into chapter 35 of As Good as Dead. I don't know why I keep saying A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but it's As Good as Dead, so we're going to go into chapter 35 right now. This video may contain sensitive topics and foul language. If you do not wish to continue, please click off of the video now. You have been warned. 35. Cortland, one of those roads in Fairview Pip couldn't extricate from herself, from one she'd become mapped inside her and in place of an artery. Back here once more, like it was something inevitable, this very journey inscribed within her too. Pip glanced up the Hastings house, coming into view up ahead. On the right, here it all had started, a branch of beginnings all those years ago. 5 teenagers, one night, Sal seeing Naomi Ward and Max Hastings among them, an alibi Sal always had snatched away from him by his friends because of Elliot Ward. And here Pip would end it all. She checked back over her shoulder at the 3 of them sitting inside Jamie's car parked farther down the street. Her car was nestled behind it. She saw Nat nodding to her from the darkness of the passenger seat, and they gave her the courage to carry on. Pip held on to one of the straps of her backpack and crossed the street. She stopped at the outer fence around Max's front drive, peeking through the branches of the tree. Max's car was the only one in the drive, and as she'd known it would be. His parents were at their second house in Santa Barbara because of the emotional distress Pip had caused them, and if she was right, Max should have returned from his evening run around 8 if he'd been on one. Turned out all those months of running into each other wasn't for nothing after all. Max was alone inside, and he had no idea she was coming for him. But she told him, she warned him all those months ago, rapist, I will get you. Pip focused her eyes on the front door, picking out the security cameras mounted on the walls on either side. They were small, pointed diagonally down to the face of the path up to the front door. They might not be real cameras, might just be for show, but Pip had to assume they were real. And that was okay, because they had a clear blind side up against the house approaching from the other end, a blind side she would disappear right into. Pip patted her pocket, checked the duct tape was there, as well as the burner phone, a bag of powder, and one set of latex gloves. Then she placed her hands over the top of the rail of the outer fence, waist high, and swung her legs over the top. She landed silently in the grass on the other side, just another shadow among the branches, keeping to the right-hand perimeter of the front yard up against the hedgerow. She skirted toward the house, toward the corner, and one of the windows she'd smashed open months ago. The room beyond was dark, some kind of office, but she could see through an open door into the hallway where there were lights on. Keeping herself flat against the wall of the house, Pip slided up behind the unsuspecting camera. She glanced up, positioned almost underneath. Reaching out for pocket, she removed the duct tape and found its ragged end. She pulled the length of tape from the roll and ripped it free. Pip stretched to the full height of her toes, arms shaking up beneath the camera, the tape ready and poised against her fingers. She pressed it over and around the glass, fully covering the lens. Another piece of tape to be sure it was blocked. One down, one to go, but she couldn't walk over to it, right into its view. She left the same way she'd come, back along the house and the hedgerow, vaulting the fence where it hid beneath the tree, walked down the sidewalk with her head down, hood up, to the other side of the house, an opening in the fence between the 2 shrubs. Pip climbed over and in. Creeping up the outer edge of the other side of the house, sidled across in the front, ripped more tape free, reached up and covered the camera. Excuse me. She exhaled. Okay, the cameras were disabled, and they wouldn't have caught a trace of one thing disabling them because it was Max, not her. Max was the one who covered the cameras. Pip returned to the outer corner of the house and carried on around. Sorry, people are texting me. Pip returned to the outer corner of the house and carried on around its side, walking carefully up to the glowing window near the back. She ducked and peered inside. The room was bright, lit up yellow, spotlights on the ceiling, but there was another light flickering blue, chasing against the yellow. Pip's eyes found the source, the huge TV mounted against the back wall, and in front of the TV, his messy blonde hair visible over the arm of the sofa, was Max Hastings, a controller in his raised hands as he thumbed one button over and over, a gun firing on screen, feet up on the oak coffee table beside the obnoxious blue water bottle he took with him everywhere. Max shuffled, and Pip dropped into the grass, her head below the window. She took 2 deep breaths, leaning against the bricks, crushing her bag between them. This was the part Ravi had been most worried about, that any number of small factors could send the plan spinning, off course, out of her control, that he should be there to help. But Max was here, and so was his blue water bottle, and if Pip could get inside, that's all she needed. He'd never even know. Pip wouldn't have long to work out how to break in, minutes, if that. She told Nat to buy her as much time as she could, but even 2 minutes was optimistic. Jamie had volunteered for the distraction at first. She said he'd be able to keep Max at the door long enough. They had been to school together. Jamie could find something to say, but Nat had shaken her head at them both, stepped forward. Put him away forever, you said, Nat had asked her. 30 to life, Pip replied. Well, then this is my last chance to say goodbye. I'll do the distraction, she said, teeth gritted and determined. The same look was on Pip's face now. As she reached in her pocket, fingers closing around the slippery latex gloves, she pulled them out and pulled them on, stretching her fingers down to the very ends. The burner phone next, with a new number saved, the number of the other burner phone she had just given to Jamie and Connor. Ready, she typed slowly, the gloves tripping up her fingers. It was only a few seconds until she heard the sound of a car door slamming in the distance. Nat was on her way. Any second that doorbell would ring, and everything, the entire plan, Pip's life, depended on the next 90 seconds. The shrill sound of a doorbell, a scream by the time it reached Pip's ears. Go. That is the end of chapter 35. I will see you guys in the next video.